Our Practice It Self-Check 12.14 Mystery 5. We are asked for each call to the following method, indicate what value is returned. And I just have all of these here so we don't have to write them out again. So you can look at them, but let's go over how to do it because please, come on, that's the most important thing, knowing how to do this. So we are going to take the screenshot and I'm able to write over it and explain everything that happens. So for this following method, we have four cases right here, an if, else if, and an else. We have this if right here, and it's saying if our x is less than 0, we're going to want to return this mystery 5. And I'll just explain that essentially what it's doing is it's taking away the negative in front of our x, but it's also putting a negative out front. And that's the same thing for this else if, but with our y. This right here is going to be our base case, so that's important to note. And this right here is going to be our recursion. So base case and recursion, two very important things. And these are just methods to manipulate. Now, let's look at the first one. For our first one, we're passed in a 5 and a 7. So that's going to go into our int x and int y. We're going to go all the way down to our else statement, and we want to return 100. And then we have this being multiplied by, we have this divided by here. Now, 5 divided by 10, we want to round it down to an integer. It's going to give us 0.5, but rounding it down at 0. Same thing with the 7, it's going to give us a 0. We'll have to pass this in, and so this is going to be the recursive part. And then we'll do plus 10 times, so parenthesis, we want our x, which is 5. We know 5 modulus 10 is going to give us a remainder of 5 because we can't divide 5 by 10 without getting a remainder, plus y modulus 10, which is going to give us 7. Now, 0, 0 passed in recursively is going to fall into our base case, which is going to return 0. So this is all going to be 0, meaning that the rest of this is just going to give us a 57, and that's how we would get our answer. So that's that for the first one. Let's look at the second one now. And for our second one, we'll do it in red this time. We want to do 12 and 9 passed in. So int x is 12, int y is 9. For this one, we want to return 100. Inside of here, we do have something we can divide by now, right? So x is going to be 1 because we can divide it by 1 time. And y is going to be 0. So y is 0 because it's less than 10. We'll have plus 10 times x modulus 10 is going to give us a remainder of 2 for this because we have 12. And then plus our y for the y, or plus y because it's y modulus 10, it'll give us 9. So with this inside of here, this part is recursive. This part is just going to be 29. We'll add on in a second. So recursively, we will go inside of here. Let me change the color. And this is the next level of recursion. So that's basically saying we're calling this method right here. We're going back to here. And we're passing in 1 and 0. So passing in 1 and 0, we want to return 100 times. Inside of here, what's the remainder of 1 divided by 10? Well, 0.1. It's going to give us 0 if we round down. I think I said remainder. Sorry about that. We'll have a 0 here and a 0 here. We'll have plus 10 times. And we should have x, which was passed in as 1. 1 modulus 10 is going to give us a 1 plus, and then our y, of course, is just 0. So for this one, this is going to give us a 0 because once we go back into our recursion, we're going to hit this else if base case right here. That's going to return 0, so that's all zeroed out. And this is going to be 10. So we are returning this into here. So we'll have 10 times 100, which will give us 1,000. 1,000 plus 29 will give us this 1,029. Let's redo the screenshot because it's a bit messy. Let's do the next one. So for this next one, we have -7 and 4. This is a great way to test our negatives. Do this one on your own. I'm going to do the one with the double negative so we can really see how it works. So pause the video, try it out yourself. If you can't get it, I'm going to do this next one. So with this next one, we're going to hit this if statement first. That's all we're going to do because we have this recursive part inside of here. So what we want to do is we hit the if statement. We have a negative out front, and then inside of here, we're going to pass a 23, -48. Into our mystery 5. We do this again. And once we recursively go back inside of here, we're going to have this else if statement because our y is less than 0 now. So now we'll need another negative out front. So we have this negative, and then we have a negative 23, 48. And that's essentially just going to make it into a positive. So we have positive 23 and 48 now. From here, we're going to recursively again go through this. So this is our third recursion, except this time we fall into our else statement. And inside of our else statement, this is pretty cool. What we're going to do is we're going to start with 100, and then we multiply it by the division here is going to be 2, because we can divide 23 by 10 2 times, comma, 4 times for 48, plus 10 times, and then we have our x modulus 10. The modulus here is going to give us a remainder of 3, plus, and then 8 for the 48. Now we have to recursively look into this one right here. So we're passing in a 2 and a 4. We're going through recursively again. We're going to go into this else statement here. So in this else statement, we're going to have 100. Oh, and remember, by the way, it goes like this. That's how we're doing it. We have 100, and then we are going to pass in, see, we have a 2 and a 4. So that should make it a 0 and a 0, plus 10 times 2 plus 4. So that means this should be zeroed out like this. This is going to return a 24. So we'll have 24 times this 100, because we have to unwind. So we'll have 2,400 plus all of this back here, which is going to give us a 38. So we'll have 2438. And that's going to be your answer once we finish unwinding, going through here. Now, if we only had one negative like we did in this one right here, we would have a negative out front. But the negatives cancel out and make it a positive, so that is 2438. And the last one is 132483. It's not that much harder than the previous one, so I'll let you do that one on your own. If you have any questions, as always, leave them in the comments below. But I hope you understand this problem, and if you want more practice, it's in the playlist link below, the like button.